We are Duck Hunting Fanatics, knee deep in the duck blind. If it flies, it dies. Only Duck Hunting Fanatics know what it feels like to see a brightly colored Drake mallard cup its wings and soar towards your decoys. It's what we do, and it's what we love. Duck Hunting Fanatics, with boots on the ground, eyes in the skies reports. And we get it from professional duck guides all across the country. We interview them for their top tips and tricks from their years of experience from the duck hunting blind. This is Duck Hunting Fanatics, and this is Eric Wilkes.
Greetings, friends. Eric Wilkes here at Duck Hunting Fanatics, and I have with me today an awesome guy by the name of Chris Stuckel, who's going to talk a little bit about FieldTorq Knives. He's got this cool deer hunting knife that it makes cleaning a little bit safer, a little bit easier, a little bit faster, which are all the conveniences that we all can appreciate in life. So Chris, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for being here.
Hey, how's it going, Eric? Nice being here today with you.
Well, we're excited to have you, man. Just fill us in here. I have your website up so everybody can kind of see it and see what this knife looks like. It's kind of, the first thing that stands out when I first, met you and first checked out your website is, what is this odd looking knife and how does this thing actually work? So let's maybe start, give us a little bit of background, like what inspired you to actually start FieldTorq Knives?
Yeah, so it's actually been quite a while in the making. Back in the early 90s, there was a guy in northern Minnesota who had a fatal hunting accident. I just thought, geez, all of us are out in the woods, like way back in there. And, the nearest medical facilities are, probably at least an hour out, I would say. So you gotta think about that when you're field dressing your deers to have a really safe means to do it. And this guy, unfortunately, he was cutting the pelvic bone and slipped on it. And the point of his drop point knife went into his femoral artery in his leg. So he lasted basically a couple minutes and that was it. So I think a lot of people have cut themselves in the past or nearly cut themselves and can relate to that. And not only like from a safety perspective, but also from just gutting perspective, right? Who likes to hit or nick the gut? Nobody. Yeah. I mean, you raise your hand if you like to, nick the gut and smell that. Nobody will raise their hand.
Done that.
You got to think. You think too. You've got all this time and money invested into your hunt, and the last thing you want to do is have it contaminated with all the internals that busting open the gut or something like that. No, so I designed a knife that's safe, it's fast, and it's very effective. It does not hit the gut at all. Plus, it cuts through bone. That is a huge plus. It eliminates the number of tools that you have to bring out to the field with you. It lightens up your pack. It does it very quickly and efficiently. You don't have to core out the rear of the animal. You just go right through that pelvic bone and everything else just kind of follows. So yeah, it just makes a nice process.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And I think, anytime we can do something safer, faster, and easier, it's just like I said at the beginning, it's all the conveniences of daily life that we all look for. Anytime we can get a sort of an advantage or a leg up, that's what we're looking for. And when we ran across you and met you and saw your website, saw your product, and you got some great YouTube videos, you got some great videos just right here, even on your website, that sort of explain how it works, that you guys can go out and check out. It's just FieldTorq Knives, and you can kind of see his logo here, FieldTorq, TORQ knives.com to check it out. But that, with that said, what has the feedback been? I know you've got quite a few reviews. You see a few of them here right on your website.
Yeah.
And I know you're in the trade show circuit, so you go to a lot of shows, you talk to a lot of people. What has the feedback been
Yeah, for sure.
regarding your
Yeah.
product?
It's been phenomenal, actually. As I'm sitting there, behind the table and my 3 videos that I have going on now, while I'm talking to people, it's just there'll be, the initial conversation is, what is it? How do you use it? How do you sharpen it? Number one question, how do you sharpen it?
There you go.
But I've been selling at trade shows now for nearly 10 years, and there'll be somebody who walks by during this time and they'll have purchased the FieldTorq knife, and they'll be like, just get it, so they'll be talking to this guy who's like, so
awesome.
Does it really work? Does it really cut the pelvic bone? I can see it, but I don't really believe what I'm seeing. And then somebody walks by about then, and they're like, just get it. It works amazing. It's incredible. So yeah, just hearing a lot of good things about the FieldTorq knife. And I actually have 3 different styles now because of that. People like the orange, for example. It's the FRN model, and that's high visibility. So when you're out in the woods, you put it in the grass or in the leaves, it's definitely going to pop. And then from sort of the traditional perspective, we have the Pocketwood, very nice looking knife, nice smooth lines on it, very functional, just like the others are. The one that we came up with this year is actually the Stag. I did a collaboration with Puma Knives, and so we kind of worked together on that handle. It was their handle, but now we moved into doing our own Stag. So pretty excited about that. And that one comes with the leather sheath and upgraded steel as well. So we have 0.9% carbon, for example, in that one, 60 Rockwell. It keeps an edge. That's the other thing that I'm hearing at these trade shows, Eric, is that these knives, they just stay sharp. If you
Always
look at
the biggest
reviews,
concern. It was one of my questions, Chris,
yeah.
because I feel like the biggest challenge is keeping your knife sharp, and it's not cheap to buy the sharpening kits. It's really for most guys, you just don't have time to sharpen them a lot of times, especially if you're out hunting every day. I know myself being, like most guys, a multi-species hunter, you're going from one season to the next, to the next, to the next. You don't always have time in between things. And of course you can take it in somewhere and have it professionally sharpened. And, now thanks to the evolution of like the Works knife sharpening kit, that makes it really nice. But what makes it a lot nicer is the quality of the steel and the ability to keep an edge. I actually just converted all my broadheads and went to a really high quality steel that I know I can shoot 2 or 3 times into a target, know that it's going to retain its edge, and I'm not necessarily going to have to go sharpen it. And I know it's going to be confidently, I can go kill an animal with it. And so a lot of guys I know out there are going to have that question, Chris. So
yeah,
do you have any advice around that? Obviously, the Stag, you guys can see it right here. It's $99 versus $79. Do you have any insight in terms of the quality of this steel when you're comparing the Packwood or the FRN to the FieldTorq Stag?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So the Pocketwood and the FRN are 0.8% carbon, heat treated to 58 Rockwell. And they're going to stay sharp as well. I would say 15 field dressings before resharpening, which is fantastic. I've compared that to like 20 to 25 with the Stag. I mean, people are actually using, and I say that so that people will believe what I'm saying, because if you read in the reviews, it's actually more than that. People are using it on, 10, 15 elk without resharpening it. And it's just like, it blows my mind. Even as the knife designer, I'm like, that is pretty dang good.
That is phenomenal. And I know that's the one thing I always look at is the quality of the steel. I had a really nice, expensive Gerber knife, and I'll be quite honest. I just got tired of, one or two jobs and it's done, right? You got to go sharpen the thing. And I've been in the field before where I've forgotten to sharpen it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a waste of time. I ended up going to a different knife where you can, you guys have all heard of the brand, but it's Outdoor Edge. And I ended up going to them where I could change out the blades just pretty much after one or two. You just throw the blade away, get a new one. But this here, it's even more convenient because otherwise, even in that scenario, you have a super sharp blade, but I'm carrying 6 to 7 blades with me at all times, just so that I know that I always have one on me. And of course, you know, they could slip out of your pocket, you drop them, you lose them, etc. And so going to something like this, it's all there. It's, you know, it's quality, you know, it's going to last, you know, it's going to be there when you need it. You know, I'm selling myself a FieldTorq knife right now, Chris.
We've got them in stock, but they're not going to stay in stock forever.
Awesome. Well, what do you have upcoming show wise? Where's your next stop?
Yeah, so we have finished with the spring trade show circuit as of now. We have those completed. Our next shows are going to be in August, and I'm going to go all the way down to Texas for that. I'm from Wisconsin, so it's kind of a long haul, about 1,100 miles, but it's worth it. They love knives down in Texas.
Yes, they
Little
do.
shout out to my Texas fans. Yeah, so we'll go to Fort Worth, Dallas, and San Antonio, and we really rock it at those shows. Yeah,
that's awesome. So stay tuned for that, and you know, look them up at the shows down in Texas. You can also check these guys out and check out Chris and FieldTorq Knives on social media. You can catch up with them on Instagram. I know he posts here fairly regularly, but it'll give you some more insight and feedback in terms of, you know, what FieldTorq Knives is all about, the durability of it. You see a lot out here on social media. He does a good job of posting, you know, his shows and where he's at and what's going on. So that way you guys can easily find him if you're at those shows. He's got a few videos out here on YouTube as well. So definitely go check those out. You'll learn all about how to use the knife. And how it all kind of comes together. So, you know, that said, Chris, any closing words, any closing thoughts?
Well, if you're on the fence about trying the FieldTorq knife, look at the videos, look at the reviews, and just get one, because it's a phenomenal tool. Yeah, it looks different than any other knife, and it acts differently. It really does. It brings a lot more to the table. You're able to cut through that bone without any other tools. You're never going to hit the gut again. It's like the best of all worlds built into one tool. And I'm just really pleased how it came together, and see a really bright future with the FieldTorq knife.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, you got a great story, Chris. We appreciate you being on the show today and sharing this with all our duck hunting fanatic friends. I know most of you guys that are duck hunters, you know, I was telling Chris before we hopped on that every duck hunter I know hunts other species. So we know that a lot of you will deer hunt, especially if you duck hunt anywhere in the Midwest. You more than likely do a little bit of deer hunting as well. So we felt like this would be awesome to share with you guys. We're excited to bring it to you. If you get a chance, just go out to duckhuntingfanatics.com, and you'll see our link. We'll also attach it below this podcast. That way Chris can actually track who from our duck hunting fans and our duck hunting followers is going out and cleaning a purchase. We do get just as a disclaimer, we do get a little bit of a commission on that, but it's always nice to know for Chris that we as Duck Hunting Fanatics, you know, we appreciate what he's doing. We're excited to bring unique, innovative products to you guys this year, and this is one of those products we felt like was a good fit. So shoot us some feedback, show Chris a little bit of love. Go out, grab a FieldTorq knife. Visit duckhuntingfanatics.com, click the banner that's on our website or the link that'll be attached to this podcast. And you guys have a great day. So thanks so much for being here. Chris, thanks again for being on the show, man.
You're welcome, Eric. Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure.
Look forward to the upcoming fall season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be here before we know it. September's right around the
Let's
corner.
not wish away summer before it even gets here, huh?
Exactly, because then before you know it, it's fall and we're right back into deer hunting season. So
all right, I love it.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you guys on another episode real soon.
We are Duck Hunting Fanatics, knee deep in the duck blind. If If it flies, it dies.